That time again. Let's do another garden update on the container garden. Over here is the purple basil, which looks amazing. I'm really happy about the purple basil. It looks so good. I love it. This one right here is the okra. As you can see, there are some buds coming up. And one thing I noticed is something's been chewing on this leaf, and then this leaf over here looks a little blighty. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it just doesn't look that great. Then this okra over here, there's something been going on with the leaves. It pretty much looks the same as this one. God, if this camera would focus. It pretty much looks the same as this one. So what I ended up doing was I pulled the other one that was in there out, and all of the, I didn't even touch these, but all the leaves that were running up and down along the stem were, they just started falling off out of nowhere. So I don't know what was going on with this. So I figured I'll, pull one out, and this one was a taller, better looking one. So hopefully that one lives and does well. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that at all. Over here are the green onions. They're looking pretty good, except for, all the little ones that are dried up and they're dying. I have no idea what's going on with this camera, but it's just not focusing. Here's the lemongrass, which looks great. I have some buds growing up from when I put in new seeds the last time. There's the Brussels sprouts growing away. And then let's take a look at the tomatoes. We have actual tomatoes growing. We have tomatoes here, another one over here. I really don't know what's up with this camera. It's just not focusing at all today. This is my cell phone. It's weird. It should be focusing. And then we have a really big one right here. So yeah, the tomatoes are looking really good. This particular plant is not as green as the other one is. But I think that's just because this has the 3 in the pot, and the pot is not that big. But yeah, the basil on the bottom of that is growing really well. Looks really good. And let's take a look at the other basil. Over here is the one that had tons and tons of basil in it, and I thinned it out. I pulled up like maybe about half the plants, and I pulled them up like one by one. Here's one I'm gonna get rid of right here. Yeah, I pulled them up like one by one. Any sets that were like eaten by bugs, or that were yellow down here, or if they only had one set of Trulies as opposed to 2 sets, at this point, I figured it was time for them to go, because they're just, they're just itty bitty, teeny tiny, and they're not growing. Well, they're growing, but they could do better. Like, we can get more out of this pot if there were less in here, and they're growing really slowly because of that. Because if you look over here, these ones are growing really well. Those ones are growing really well, and so are those. And I planted every single one of these basil seeds all at the same time. This one, there's just too many in the pot. So I definitely, I knew it was time to thin them a long time ago. I didn't thin them out. So yeah, I did that, a little bit of that today, just now. I did mostly the sweet basil, and the lime basil, I pulled a bunch of them out too, but not as many as the sweet. I don't know why. I think it's because I really like the sweet basil or the lime basil, and I didn't want to kill any of them. They smell so good. I love these. Yeah. Here are the chives, and I have some buds growing up in there. Some seeds have germinated from when I put in the extra seeds, because it wasn't a bunch of them weren't growing. So like, if you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 plants in there, where there should be at least 3 times as many, if not more. Okay, let's come over here, and I'm gonna pull this one over here. Actually, here's the borlotti bean. The borlotti bean is just doing whatever. I had it out in the sun one day, and this plant does not like sun, so it's all, whatever. I need to put a trellis or something in here so that it'll stand up. But what I actually have been doing is I've been just keeping it in the house under a grow light, and leaning up against the wall, which is fine. I also had my son plant another one which just sprouted up, so that this one they'll have each other to lean on, so we'll see how that goes. Put that back over there. Here we have the lettuce, which everything died except for the arugula pretty much. I went ahead and put in more seeds into the pot, and hopefully I'm gonna have more arugula. I just put in nothing but arugula in here, so hopefully I'll just have more arugula growing in here, as opposed to this little bit of nothing that's actually growing. Like, this looks terrible, absolutely horrible. Okay, over here we have a tomato plant. This is a new tomato. I believe this one is the black Krim tomato. And then over here are the cherry tomatoes. 2 of those came up. Only one of the black Krims came up, and I'm so excited. They look pretty good. That's what the peppermint is doing. Not much, but yeah, it's doing something, I guess. And yeah, I think that's all of it. Oh, I forgot to mention. Notice something missing. The cucumbers are gone. They died. They said fuck this world and everything in it, and they left. They checked out. So all that what was it? Blight, it was too much for them. So what I did was I planted some sage in this one, and I planted some ever-bearing cucumbers in this one, and we'll see how that goes. All right, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to take some dirt and I'm going to put some extra dirt in some of these pots so they have something to keep them more stable at the bases, because right now they don't have, I don't know, I just want to put some more dirt in the bottom of the pots. All right, thanks for watching. Bye. Have a good day.